Even like being able to negotiate a little bit better with landlords, um, make better real estate deals from the leasing perspective. Uh, and then now with just the way that timing's been going, we've actually been able to kind of weigh it out or wait it out, I should say. And hopefully by the time we open, the restrictions that North Carolina has will be lifted quite a bit, and we won't have so much of that. And it would have, COVID would have like pretty much gone to the wayside for the most part. It would be ideal, but that's the way it's looking like it's going to happen right now.
Yeah, and like two things to add to that. One, yeah, in real estate, it's never been done before, but we actually were able to put a pandemic clause in our lease. Something to the effect of if the governor or the government in general mandated that we must close, that we struck a different deal with the landlord for that period of time.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. That was new to the commercial real estate world.
The landlords didn't really like it, but it was something that, we kind of stuck to our guns and said, this has to be in there. I mean, it would be silly to go through an experience like this and then not have those protections. So it was cool.
Yeah. And then the other thing was that people were so tired of being cooped up that once we entered the pre-sales, people were ready. The fact that we don't have an open facility and we're doing outdoor workouts, it just kind of fell into place, and people are able to social distance outside and still get their workout in. And so it's like she said, it really hasn't hurt us that bad.
And the people who are worried about COVID and all that will actually still come to the outdoor workouts. So people who are nervous about working out in a facility are coming to our workouts and getting their exercise in and what they need in to be healthy. And so that's what I was saying. By the time we are ready to open, I think it's just going to help us.
How are we doing on pre-sales numbers?
Our pre-sale numbers are pretty good.
I think we broke a record, if I'm correct. We sold 80 memberships in 19 days.
Wow.
Yeah. So
it's moving.
I think that's an ISI record. We just got to keep up the momentum and
keep it going. I know St. Pete's is coming up behind us pretty quick though.
Yeah.
They hit 100 last night.
They did?
Really?
At like 11 o'clock last night.
So like Greg, it was a record.
Yeah.
Hey,
every call you guys got to take the wind out of our sails. Every call.
We're here to put the wind right into your sails. Yeah. This is all for you guys.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing. You guys set the bar, right? So that's the greatest thing about any franchise system. It's like you set the bar and you keep setting the bar and it keeps elevating and elevating. I was talking to Dick Sheehan about this. He's like, Psycho Bar, we used to think 500 members was like unbelievable. Now 1,000 members is the mark for them. So it's just like, it's our name, man. It's Iron Stuff Down. So it's like keep setting the bar, raising the bar, doing what's possible. It's awesome. So you guys set that and gave that vision that, hey, through that first weekend, almost 50 members is doable. And then it's just raising the bar.
And what do you think? And what do you think the next franchise is going to do when they
what do we think the next prize is?
Right. So like when Eric Knight goes and starts his pre-sales, he's going to look at the bar that was just set and say,
and he's like, I'm going to blow that one out of the water, right?
It's the case of the 4-minute mile. Everybody on the planet thought the 4-minute mile was impossible until one guy did it, and then it became the new standard.
I just watched the motivational video on that, and they were talking about him. Pretty cool.
Yep.
So Greg and Kat, we've got what's your guys' target opening as far as number of members?
300.
300.
300. Yep. 300 is what we're on track for, and I plan on keeping it that way. So.
Yeah.
And that far exceeds break even, yeah.
I'm sorry.
That far exceeds break even.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be
Not now.
making a decent
We're going to school.
paycheck after that.
We're going to school.
Very nice.
Wait, I know you guys got a jet. Terry, you want anything else or Storm before? I know how it is parent and trying to get kids out there.
Yeah, no, we gotta let Cat and Greg go be adults. Storm, you can stay on and do another, and then we'll get out of here.
Well, thanks for
guys.
having us, guys. I appreciate it. Sorry we couldn't stay longer, but
No, it's all good.
we're late for school already.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
All right, guys.
I
Have a
love
great
you.
day.
See you next time.
There you go.
Take it easy, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
How are we sounding on feedback right now? I think we're all good.
Iron sharpens iron, man. I think you're up.
We are. I wonder what it was.
I don't
I
know.
think it might have been echoing through the back of their house.
No, I think they may have maybe they had two streams open somehow.
But we can figure out this while we're not live on the air, guys. Storm. how about some weather? And then
Like,
read
that's never happened before.
our audio issues.
So weather here in Philadelphia, it's a beautiful Monday morning. Can't complain. Right now, it's about 50 degrees outside, but it's sunny, so it feels a little bit more like 55. High temperature today is in the 60s, so we're looking at a high of 69 degrees.
Stop. There's not enough energy in this delivery. I'm sorry.
It's a Monday morning.
You're
You
like
caught me. I was up late watching the Eagles win. Okay, I was a little emotional last night.
I was up late watching Tom Brady dominate. All right. Yeah, I get it.
So there was nothing dominant about our game against the 49ers last night. But, you want to talk about a team who went out there and just gutted one out. They went out there with one healthy wide receiver from the original 55-man roster and one healthy tight end. The rest of the guys were practice squad players, and the guy who caught the game-winning touchdown hasn't been on the team for a week.
Awesome. And the weather?
And the weather. Beautiful Monday morning after an Eagles win last night. It's a beautiful Monday morning. 50 degrees right now. Real field temp closer to 55. It's going to get a little warmer throughout the day today. So we're expecting the high to hit 69 degrees, and it'll feel like 69 degrees. And we're looking at temperatures that are mostly in the 60s as your highs and in the 40s in the evening. So it's supposed to be a beautiful week. There's a chance for some showers later on today, but mostly beautiful weather here in Philadelphia, especially after an Eagles win.
I heard you. All right. Let's get some video.
Before I'm actually going to detour this because we still have like 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
So
let's talk
about it brings up such an interesting topic of setting the bar. So like where and we've seen it in such a short amount of time, right? So you've got Eric Knight, who I know is watching this right now. He's looking at Matthews, who came in and they launched PreSales weekend with close to 50 members,
right?
And set a record. Then St. Pete, they come in, they see what Matthews did. They see there's vision and the capacity to be able to do it. They learn from what they did and implemented that worked, and they're seeing all of that, and they go set another bar. So where have you seen, you worked with a lot of franchise brands in your days, Storm, through the financing world, and Carrie, obviously you've been involved as well. Like, what is your guys' thoughts on that exact thing, is continuing to elevate the level of standard, the level of performance, and continuing to set the bar high? And do you see where when brands start to peak at a certain level, like what starts to happen inside that culture? Is it a leadership thing? Is it what is that? I just want your guys' opinion. What does that boil down to when brands start to elevate and then dip?
Yeah, that's no easy question, Adam. Thanks. That's a real solid one. I think, what you're talking about is you're getting really quality franchisees. And what happens is on that Z level, they believe in themselves because they're getting that top end from the leadership and they're getting structured advice from the franchisor that they feel almost unstoppable. And what you do is you have that culture of people who are working together, learning from one another. So where we just talked with Kat and Greg, and I know that, they said that we were deflating, they're taking the wind out of their sails, deflating their sails. We're not, right? I think the point is they did go out, they did set the bar, and that inspires. It doesn't challenge, it doesn't create competition. It inspires the next franchisee to do that, but do it better. And I think that, the spirit here is, do you create competition or do you create inspiration, right? And what we are doing is we're creating that inspiration and that can-do mentality, because we didn't know it was possible until until this morning when we woke up and saw that St. Pete hit 100. We didn't know it was possible when Matthews hit 50 3 weeks ago, right? So we don't know what's possible next week. And where we are culture-wise, what has been set up here, not even looking at past behavior, looking at where we are right now, that is possible now. And Eric Knight, I hope you're listening, because it is possible. And I can't wait to have you on here in a couple of weeks and have your numbers be reported.
Yeah. Sure.
I think what you're getting right now is a collective buy-in from our franchisees, right? They are diving fully into the deep end, and they have no problem with it. And we talk about it all the time. And I've worked with, a number of different franchise systems, and a lot of the brands that I worked with when I was on the financing side of the industry, they were emerging franchise brands. And we used to talk about the importance of bringing in the right franchisee early, right? And I know it sounds like a very difficult thing to do, because as an emerging franchise brand, you're just looking for somebody who's willing to take a chance on you. But we used to talk to brands about the importance of bringing in the right people, because you need those first 10, those first 20, those first 25 to be extremely successful. They're going to validate for your next 100 franchisees, right? And I think that's something that we've done a pretty good job of, with ISI, is we're bringing in the right people, right? You could tell Greg and Kat, they've bought in, right? The guys down in St. Pete, you want to talk about a buy-in, how about 100 pre-sales in 3 days, right? So not only are people buying in, it's creating this team-like mentality, right? It's this friendly competition amongst our early franchisees of who can open with the most memberships, right? Because we don't really know what's possible. We think we know, but just like Nick has talked about with Cycle Bar, they thought that, this was going to be the standard. And then all of a sudden somebody hit 600 members, 700 members, somebody eclipsed 1,000. And all of a sudden the standard shifted, right? I think that's what we're starting to see. That, and I think, we're at a very interesting time in our society where people miss that feeling of being a part of a team. Everybody's working remote, right? I'm working from home every day. Now, fortunately, I get to see your beautiful faces on the camera every morning, and I get to talk to you guys all day long. So I still very much feel like I'm a part of a team. But especially in the fitness space, one, people want to get out of their house, and two, people miss feeling like they're part of a team, part of a family. And I think they're finding that in ISI, and I think that's why we're seeing these numbers jump the way that we've seen them.
It's kind of like the New England Patriots, if you will. You have created a very Belichickian model where you are actually fighting for each position on the field, right? And what happens as a result of that? You win a lot, and people hate you because you win so much, right? The new standard is 6 Super Bowl wins. You want to be the best quarterback, you got to win 6 Super Bowls.
Yep.
Yeah,
better start working on that second hand of rings.
Yeah. I think too, a lot of brands get involved. So just to anybody that's watching this that may not have a ton of franchising experience, brands either go two directions, right? With the sales side. So bringing on new franchisees, it's either going to a company that essentially you outsource that and they do it for you and they're experts in it, right? Or you bring it in-house. And luckily, I feel like we have a combination of both. We do outsource it, but Carrie actually works, you wouldn't even know, works for, the Repham group, and so does Storm, but it's such an alignment to where here's the one thing that I was talking with. I'm mentoring another franchisor right now, an emerging one. And the fact that I could tell Carrie, Storm, Rob, Nick, I don't feel this person's a good fit. I don't want to bring them into our system. You guys would be 100% okay with that. And there will be no resistance to that. And I think that's so important because we can literally choose who we want to be involved. And like you said, Storm, like, man, it's so important to get the right people in right now, because if we don't, I truly believe you get the right people in right now. That's what is the difference between, you know, a brand that has 1,000 locations and a brand that struggles to get to 100.
And I think on that alignment point, Adam, the way that we have our process set up, we're picking through the people who are coming out in and picking the best of the best. And I know you and I have had multiple conversations about the quality of people we're working with, and hey, are you sure this is the right person for the brand? Right. And the answer no is an okay answer sometimes.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. So. Cool. Well, sorry to take us. I just think it's important to really go into that, to really see. It's a culture thing, but there is something that I think is to be said about continuously setting the bar. And whether you look at it from sports, business, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it happens all the time, and there's an ingredient that is there that creates that. So.
Well, you're an excellent chef, Adam.
It's all the water he drinks.
Man, I got to work on my tan though. I was noticing that this morning. I'm looking quite stormish.
Casper.
Yeah, we get no sun out here. Although I was just at a barn wedding in Virginia, and the sun was out, and that's how I could tell I was pretty pasty. Is I was sitting out in the sun for 20 minutes, and I could feel my forehead starting to turn red. I was like, okay, yeah, probably need some more sun.
You're allowed outside during the pandemic, Storm.
Yeah, I apparently so. I'm not with the hat on when I'm mowing the lawn. I don't think it's getting the job done.
Matt Lamro said he can help with that.
Yeah,
Matt, do you have a separate spray tanning business that we don't know about?
All right, 2 shows in one for your join.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me
see you guys.
Let me dig up to these. There we go.
Oh my gosh, it feels awesome. It's close to home. It feels like family when I come here every time. I love the workout. I love the push. I love that they pay attention to what you're doing and make sure you're doing it right.